everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to talk about the 16 books that I hopefully will get to reading in 2025. Let's get all cozy and let's talk about some books. Okay, so to start off with, I'm currently reading The Labyrinth of Spirits by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is book 4 in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series, and I started this in 2024, but I honestly, something was pulling me away from reading it. I guess because I'm getting to the end of the series and I was feeling sad about that and nostalgic. I am really loving this so far. I'm like 200 pages in. This isn't like an 800 page book. You know, I'm gonna try to finish it in January, but we shall see. The Cemetery of Forgotten Books is essentially about Barcelona throughout time and this mythic Cemetery of Forgotten Books, which is a library that if you put a book in it, it's considered to be saved, and then somebody will come to the library, they can pick any book they want, and then it's up to them to save the book. But it's so much more than that. It's hard to explain. There's romance and suspense. It's beautifully written. There's so much that goes into these books, so I absolutely highly recommend you check this out, which leads into the next book that I want to read, which is called The City of Mist, which is book 5 in the series. I guess it's like book 5. I don't know. Online, there are different lists that only have the first 4 or like all 5 together. I don't know anything about this book. All I know is that it's one of my favorite writer's books, so I can't wait to get to that. I also want to read all of his books in general this year, or at least start working on them. I thought he only had a young adult series, but he also has other books, so I don't even know at this point, but it's definitely a top priority for me to read all of Carlos Ruiz Zafón's backlist. Next, we have another book that I've started. I'm only like 2 or 3 chapters in though, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I have said before, I have a rocky relationship with the ACOTAR series. I love book 3 and 4. I've heard that so many people love the Throne of Glass series. They say it's better than ACOTAR. I've also seen pictures of the entire series. It's like a fucking pillar. It's a huge amount of books. I don't know if I will be getting to all of them, but I own this one and I was like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's see if I truly am a Sarah J. Maas girly. We shall see. This will be the year that I feel like I can cement that title or not. This I think is like a Cinderella retelling, except she's an assassin. So like, that sounds great. That sounds like something I would love. And it's good so far. So yeah. Next I have this collection of 3 novels by Elizabeth Wharton. I was just so drawn to this cover. I think it is absolutely stunning. This is part of the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition, so there's deckled edges. The artwork is so distinctive. Like, these are beautiful books. I've been collecting them for years now. This is technically 3 books in one because it's The House of Mirth, The Custom of the Country, and The Age of Innocence all in here, so it is quite large. I don't know if I'll get to all 3 of these, but this is also on my list. I know nothing about these stories other than Edith Wharton is considered to be one of the greatest writers, and Age of Innocence is a classic, and these all take place in New York City in the 1800s, so what more could I ask for? Next we have Persuasion by Jane Austen. I have read 2 books by Jane Austen, I think. Sense and Sensibility, and I think I read another one. I can't remember which one right now, but Persuasion is such an underrated book. There is such a beautiful story between Captain Wentworth and Anne. It has one of the most beautiful declarations of love I've ever heard of or read. I have seen the movie version with Karen Hines, and I forget the actress's name, but it's from the 90s. It's so good compared to the Netflix version, which like really was not very good. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought down in the comments. But I want to read it because I have a feeling that it would be my favorite Jane Austen novel. So, and I think it's on the shorter side too, but it's basically a second chance romance between our 2 main characters. Anne was in love with Captain Wentworth when she was younger, but his station in life wasn't agreeable to her family. She didn't necessarily care, but she was persuaded to not marry him And then later in life, they meet again and he's now this great captain and his position has changed. Her love for him never changed though, so she feels embarrassed about what she did, and she's also kind of meek. She doesn't speak up for herself. So it's about like, will they, won't they try again? And it's just a beautiful, underrated story. Next we have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Yes, I am continuing reading Ali Hazelwood. I want to recapture the magic that I had with her when I first started reading her novels, especially Love Hypothesis. I own so many of her books. The only ones I don't own are Not in Love, and I think there's another one that's coming out. We'll get to that one. But I've been hearing that this one is more of like an erotica or something. It's more of like an adult romance, whatever that means. Again, it's the same women in STEM thing that she always writes about, but I don't know, I'm hesitant to read it, but I still want to read it because Ali Hazelwood is my girl and I know she's still got it, even if her most recent publications like Check and Mate, Bride, and Cruel Winter with You weren't exactly to my taste, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And speaking of Ali Hazelwood again, we're getting into In the Deep. First of all, I have to say I'm on a roll, first with Edith Wharton and now the title for this book for some reason. I literally read it off of my phone. It's not whatever I said. It's called Deep End, clearly. Apologies for my slip up. What is this cover? What is this weird, meaty hand, like daintily grasping onto a woman's hand? Is he checking her pulse? Is he giving her like a weird palm massage? Clearly, I think this is like a sports romance. I think he's a swimmer or something. But I just like, I'm so sorry. I hate this cover. I think it is so ugly. I don't want to insult anybody. That's just my opinion. But this one I think is coming out this year also. And I'm willing to give it a shot. Hopefully a different cover is released at some point because I do not want this on my bookshelf. Next we have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. I love Grady Hendrix' writing style. I think he is so unique. His voice really comes across in a fantastic way. He's a great writer. He's really good at writing disgust and humor at the same time. I absolutely loved the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I think that's what it's called. I haven't read anything else by him. Oh, that's a lie. What am I talking about? I read How to Sell a Haunted House. I think that's what it's called. That one really wasn't for me. I thought it was kind of laughable that this puppet was trying to be scary. But anyway, the Witchcraft one is about displaced women, I think, in the 70s who are pregnant and they go to this facility and apparently they're treated very badly. Gabby Reeds, who is a booktuber who I love to watch, she read it recently and talked about it and she said it was really sad. And like the witchcraft part of it was kind of dialed down, but it's Grady Hendrix. I saw the title and I was like, yeah, sign me up. Okay, next we have This Brick, Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. I did start this like a long time ago. I don't really remember anything in it. This is like a 1,300 page book. The 5th book in the series has come out. It came out in December, I think. And that's like the end of the first cycle of the Stormlight Archives. There's going to be, I think, a separate second cycle that has another 5 books. But these are very intimidating to me. It's going to take a lot of time to read this, so I've just been putting it off. But I think 2025 will be a good time to read this and get caught up, because hopefully by the time I read this, the 5th book in the series will have released its paperback. So that all of these will fit together on my bookshelf, because I really don't want the hardback. I mean, I can only imagine holding a hardback of a book this big when the paperback is already like, it feels like at least 4 pounds. Like it's crazy. The next book is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Eckhart Tolle. I'm not really sure how to say his last name. I've been hearing a lot about this book recently. I think it is a beautiful concept. I have been learning so much more about being in the present moment and what that means to me and how that works in my head, the things that I've learned about life. So I really want to read this one. His words on YouTube in particular have been very helpful for me, so I'm excited about this one. I also want to read New Earth, I think it's called, by him also. This one's all about finding your purpose, I think. I'm finding that in 2025, I am much more open to reading like self-help kind of books again. I prefer to see them as like psychology or philosophical types of books, but I am more open to reading them in the coming year because just got a thirst for knowledge, what can I say? The next book on the list is The Last Session by Julia Bartz. The Writing Retreat was one of my favorite books of last year. I've said it before, I'm not a thriller person. I don't read a lot of thrillers, but I love The Writing Retreat. So anything Julia Bartz puts out, like, I'm sat. I am literally sat. Like, I will pick it up and I will read it. The concept sounds really good. It has low ratings, again, like The Writing Retreat does on Goodreads, but you know what? Whatever. I've never let, well, that's not true. For the most part, I try to not let other people's ratings deter me because it's only my opinion that matters. You know what I mean? I think it's about like a treatment center in New Mexico and there's a patient that somebody's treating. I don't know. I think that's what it's about, but I'm really excited for this one. I think it comes out in April. Okay, the next book on this list is called Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. And what do you mean Sky Daddy and like this plane? Like, what? I'm so excited for this book because first of all, I am not somebody who has a problem with the word daddy, okay? If you do, that's totally fine. Sounds like, you know, it doesn't work for you, but it works for me. But I think this book is about a woman who falls in love with a plane, I think. So that's all I'm gonna say about it because I don't know anything else, but I'm so excited for this. I don't know when it comes out, but the second it comes out, I will be reading it. And I cannot wait. The next book is The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. This book has kind of like a weird mythical kind of quality to me. It's mysterious. It draws me to it because of the way people have spoken about it online. I remember Kayla from Books and Lala read it and loved it. I've heard that it might be a little disturbing if I'm remembering correctly. Like there's some interesting themes in the story. I have no idea what it's about. None whatsoever. If I had to guess, I would say it's about the 13th tale. So maybe it's about stories and books, and I don't know. I think it's an older book too. I think it came out a while ago. Okay, yeah, it came out in 2006. So it's a good, 15 years old? I'm not good at math. But yeah, that is on the list for 2025. Next on the list, I have Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. We all know Emily Henry's the queen of romance. Again, I don't know anything about this book, but because it's Emily Henry, I'm sat. I will be picking it up, I will be reading it. Again, the only thing about it is this cover seems a bit weak, a bit generic, maybe. Again, no disrespect to the artist or anybody, but for me personally, when I saw this cover, I was like, huh, okay. It's Emily Henry, like I said, so I will be picking it up. And I'm excited to read it. Emily Henry, I would say, has had some of my favorite romances and some meh romances. We'll see how this one adds to the averages, I guess. Oh yeah, okay, and then another book on the list is Power by Robert Greene. I've read like 70-ish pages of it. This isn't really a book that you sit down and read from cover to cover. It's kind of like you read a chapter when you're feeling like you want to be powerful, I guess. I don't know. I love Robert Greene. I love his philosophy and his messages that he shares across all of his social platforms. I think he is an incredible thinker, a great writer, and a great distiller of the human condition, the bad parts and the good parts. I don't see myself as somebody who would like follow anything in the book. It's more just about curiosity to know like, okay, what does Robert Greene define power as through the lens of history? Like how have powerful people in the past become powerful? And some of it is underhanded, but I like to think of it as like a game. Life is just one big game. might as well have a manual. And lastly on this list, I have finished the Love Light series by B.K. Borison. I've read the first two. The last two I think are called Business Casual and Mixed Signals. That's the third one. Loved the first one. The second one was good. So I think this has the potential to be a solid series that I can enjoy. So there you have it. Those are the 16, I guess, 16 or 17. I don't know. Books that I want to read in 2025. These are just a few of them. They're the ones that rose to the top and I was like, yes, this one. If you look at my Goodreads, which I will have it linked down below, I have like over 350 books on my bookshelf. So these are just the ones that stuck out to me out of all of those. And of course, there will be plenty of other books that I will be reading and talking about on this channel. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit that bell so you know I'll be posting next. What are some books that you are going to be reading this year? I would love to know down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I think my neighbor just sneezed while I was saying goodbye. Goodbye.